Congress versus Congress over vote story claims has now escalated. Karnataka Minister K.N. Rajana has submitted his resignation from the post of Cabinet Minister. Remember, this comes after Congress High Command asked Rajana to resign. In fact, sources say the party's High Command was displeased over Rajana's remarks on vote story claims in Karnataka. In fact, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumara has now blamed Rajana, saying he's totally at fault here. This is the big breaking news we're getting in from Karnataka, where the Congress versus Congress has now escalated. And this comes after Minister Rajana made a statement about vote story claims. He essentially said that all of these malpractices started during Congress's tenure as well. And it was during that time when the party kept quiet, and now it's raising all the allegations against the Election Commission. Remember, this comes at a time when high voltage drama has also been unfolding in the Delhi as well. We today saw the opposition parties taking a march. Today we saw the opposition parties taking a march from the parliament to the ECI office as well. It was led by Congress, and the march essentially called for the ECI to now come out and make the digital electoral list out in the public. So basically, Congress's allegation is that ECI has been colluding with the Bharatiya Janata Party here to steal the elections in the country. So at one point you have Congress leading these allegations against the Election Commission, and then on the other hand you have their own minister coming out and saying that these electoral malpractices are not new. They've been happening since Congress's tenure.
Mr. K.N. Rajana is totally false. He doesn't know. My Chief Minister will reply to it, and my party High Command will reply to it. My party, Delhi, and the Chief Minister will react to it.
Since Rajana has spoken truth, since Rajana, the senior minister, has exposed the ruling Congress party, High Command has put pressure on Siddaramaiah to take resignation of Minister Rajana. We'll discuss on the floor of the House also. The Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party alleging a constitutional authority election commission spreading false propaganda on election commission. It's really unfair. It's very unfair and very dangerous to the democracy. So rather than taking resignation of Rajana, now since the truth has come out, proper explanation should be given by Rahul Gandhi himself and by the ruling party here in Karnataka.
कांग्रेस पार्टी के अंदर लोकतंत्र है ही नहीं। सच बोलेगा तो आप पार्टी छोड़ना पड़ेगा, इस्तीफा देना पड़ेगा। क्या हालत हुई राजन्ना को? उन्हें एसटी लीडर, कोऑपरेटिव लीडर भी है, एसटी कम्युनिटी का नेता भी है, और उसके साथ साथ कोऑपरेटिव लीडर भी है। उन्हें एक सच बोला। क्या बोला? वोटर लिस्ट में एडिशन डिलीशन करना स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का काम है, हम नहीं देखा है। उसके दूसरों के ऊपर उंगली दिखाएगा तो उसकी गलती नहीं है, ऐसा सच बोला। ऐसा सच बोलने के वजह से उन्हें मंत्री पद से उनको हटाया।
Now, my colleague Mohammad Wajiola is also joining me on this story. Wajiola, please walk us through the latest statement that has come from K.N. Rajana that basically triggered this political storm. And also let us know, now we understand that Rajana has tendered his resignation. Has the CM accepted the resignation now?
Well, that the CM will come and clarify in the House. That is what the Law Minister has told us in the Assembly, that they cannot discuss this, but it's the CM who will come in the House and clarify. But coming back to what Rajana has said, today is not the first time when Rajana has given out a loose comment. We've seen him do this in the past also. If we have to calculate the past 4 instances in which Rajana has spoken out of party line and has been given a leeway or has been forgiven. But this time around, 2 days back on a Saturday when Rahul Gandhi was also here, that time he took a dig at DK Shivkumar and he pointed out saying that the voter list that is made usually before the election was made when the state government was in charge, and that was the time when the party leaders should have taken note of this problem. Raising an issue now doesn't make sense, is what he said. But the Congress party defended itself, saying that at that point of time, nobody knew that the violation would be at large scale. Nobody knew that multiple voters were there. But this statement of Rajanna has irked the High Command, especially because the High Command is going all guns blazing when it comes to the voter chori issue. And we've seen this in Delhi today. But back in Karnataka over here, we've seen Rajanna in the past also making some loose comments which has embarrassed the government. Where we start talking about the instances where Rajanna has spoken out of party line. First, he spoke about how there's going to be a revolution in September, which created a furor that there might be a cabinet shuffle or a lot of ministers will have to resign. Then he spoke about how there is going to be that he's been honey trapped by somebody, and that he did inside the assembly instead of going and filing a complaint. So because he spoke about honey trapping about his own government in the assembly, that embarrassed the government again. And then there are various other instances. He was supposed to meet Randeep Surjewala when all the MLAs had met him and spoken to him about the issues that they have been facing. Rajanna went off abroad at that point of time. And now this comment about the voter list or the voter chori issue has backfired Rajanna heavily. And we need to understand one thing, that all this while where he was not asked to resign, despite the fact that he did not toe the party line, was because of could be because of the patronage of Siddaramaiah, because Siddaramaiah and Rajanna are very close associates. They've been close allies and good friends from a very long time. And that was one reason what Rajanna got the leverage to speak the way he wanted to speak. But now the High Command has taken a decision and has decided that he has to step down. And Rajanna, before stepping down, said that he would meet the Chief Minister and resign. Well, what we've learned from our sources as of now is that Rajanna has already resigned, is given his resignation to the political advisor of Siddaramaiah, and he has handed it over to the Chief Minister. But the Chief Minister has to come out and give us a clarity on whether he has accepted the resignation or whether Rajanna has tendered the resignation or not.
How that pans out, but I want to ask you this, that even if the minister has resigned, the stir he has caused will not go away easily, and it will definitely impact the vote chori campaign now being run by Congress against the ECI.
Absolutely, that is the dent that he's given the Congress party over here, and it is going to be very difficult for them, because we've already heard the opposition jumping over the issue, and we've heard Vijayendra speaking about how truth cannot be said in Congress party, even C.T. Ravi, and both these leaders are the top leaders of the BJP party, and they've also come out and condemned the entire idea of him resigning because he said something totally against the entire vote chori. But we also need to look into a larger context. High Command will obviously come out and say that there are past instances in which Rajanna had spoken out of party line, and they have taken a collective action regarding whatever said and done. This coming out at a time when he spoke about the voter chori issue, and he questioned that the voter list was made during the Congress time, and we should have been more vigilant instead of trying foul later on.
All right, clearly an embarrassment for the Congress party there, and we'll have to see how the CM and the high commands react to it now. Thank you, Vajula, for joining us and giving us the latest on this. Now shifting focus to international politics, India has hit back at Pakistan's army chief over his reported remarks in the United States, calling them nuclear saber rattling and a hallmark of Pakistan's conduct. New Delhi says such statements only reinforce global doubts about the safety of Pakistan's nuclear command in a state where the military works hand in glove with terror groups. India also called it regrettable that these comments were made from the soil of a friendly third country, stressing that it will never yield to nuclear blackmail and will take all the steps to protect its national security. Major statement coming in from India's side about the recent statement that was made by Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir. He was in the United States when he made those statements, and now New Delhi has reacted to that, saying that such statements only reinforce global doubts about the safety of Pakistan's nuclear command in a state where military works hand in glove with terror groups, essentially saying that there is no difference between Pakistan's military and the terror groups operating from the country. Remember, it's often said that the PA seat does not reside in Islamabad, but rather Rawalpindi, which is where the military headquarters is based in. So now New Delhi reacting to that statement of Asim Munir, calling them nuclear saber rattling and a hallmark of Pakistan's conduct. New Delhi has not only hit out at Pakistan, but also at the United States, saying that it is regrettable that these comments were made from the soil of a friendly third country. So clearly India not mincing any words here, while also stating that it will never yield to nuclear blackmail of Pakistan and will take all the steps to protect its national interest. Now shifting focus, the government has reinstated senior IPS officer Ramachandra Rao, who was earlier sent on compulsory leave. Remember, Rao has now been appointed as Director General of Police, DGP, at the Directorate of Civil Rights Enforcement. Now his removal from active duty came in the wake of the Rania Rao gold smuggling case, which had sparked some major controversy and investigation. Remember, Rania Rao is the stepdaughter of this IPS officer here, and now he's been reinstated. He was earlier removed from active duty in the wake of Rania Rao gold smuggling case. Remember, the actress was caught with about 14 kilograms of gold at the airport. Reinstatement clearly signals that there has been no role of this individual found in the smuggling case. The government has reinstated senior IPS officer Ramachandra Rao. Remember, he was earlier sent on compulsory leave. He's now been appointed as Director General of Police at Directorate of Civil Rights Enforcement. And his removal from active duty earlier came in the wake of Rania Rao gold smuggling case. Now moving on, a horrific video from a daycare in Noida has surfaced showing a woman caretaker hitting and biting a 15-month-old toddler. Now in this video, a 15-month-old girl was allegedly slapped repeatedly, assaulted and bitten on her thighs by a 16-year-old caretaker, again a minor in this case, and this incident took place in Noida's Sector 137. Now viewers, this incident came to light when the child's mother noticed the injuries on her body and took the victim in the case to a hospital. A police complaint has now been registered in the case, and according to the SHO, CCTV footage from the daycare shows a female caretaker, remember just a 16-year-old here, slapping the toddler, pushing her, biting her on the thighs and even hitting her with a plastic bat. Now in the case, an FIR has been registered under BNS section 115(2), 352 and also 351(2). The complaint has been registered against the caretaker and also the daycare owner, who allegedly watched the abuse take place but did not intervene. Now, according to the police, the accused maid has been taken into custody and investigation has been done. The victim girl has also been medically examined. In fact, on inquiring, it was found that the above-mentioned maid had joined the duty only 10 days ago, and the victim girl here, remember the toddler, used to come to the daycare for just about 2.5 hours a day. Visuals on your screen showing you the injuries this toddler suffered during the abuse as well as the footage from the daycare. Clearly a shocker coming to light from Noida, and also raises questions about the kind of conditions we are sending our children to these daycare centers as well, and what kind of checks and regulations are there at these centers. Now in this case, we have found out that this maid who was working at the daycare center, she was just 16-year-old, she was hired about 10 days ago, and she was seen hitting and slapping this 15-month-old toddler. Now in the case, the daycare maid has been taken into police custody, a complaint has been filed, but it certainly raises the questions about the conditions these daycare centers have. Now moving on, in a shocking incident, a video of gunfire has emerged from Ghaziabad Sahibabad Sabzi Mandi after an altercation between the traders broke out. Now viewers, in the video, people can be seen throwing chairs at each other while a man in white kurta can be seen wielding a gun. Though the cause is still unclear at this moment, the Mandi secretary called a meeting of commission agents earlier today to address a dispute, during which tensions escalated. Now soon after, a clash broke out between traders and a man even fired few rounds. The firing, which occurred in broad daylight, left people present at the scene panicking. Traders, vendors soon fled in all directions as shots rang out, creating scenes of panic, chaos and confusion. In fact, during the incident, a man was seriously injured as well. Visuals on your screen from the clashes breaking out at the Mandi.
गोली चला रहा गोली ये गोली ये चला रहा गोली ये गोली चला रहा गोली ये गोली ये चला रहा गोली ये मंडी समिति में आगे गुंडा कर दी और ये चला रहा गोली ये मंडी समिति में आगे गुंडा कर दी और गोली चला रहा पिस्टल आओ प्रधान जी आ जाओ आ जाओ प्रधान जी इधर आ जाओ इधर आ जाओ आ जाओ तुम आ जाओ आ जाओ इधर आ जाओ आ जाओ बंदी पिस्टल आया पिस्टल गोली चल रही आ जाओ आजा गोली चल रही आजा चला चला गोली चला चला गोली चली बल्ली वीडियो आजा गोली चल रही आजा चला चला गोली चला चली रहा तुम बना दो
Now shifting focus, the fragile balance between humans and animals was caught on camera twice from two different parts of the country. First one coming in from Karnataka's Bandipur and Kekinahali checkpost. A Kerala-based tourist in this case had a very narrow escape after an elephant attack. The tourist reportedly stepped out of his vehicle to take a selfie on the forest stretch, violating safety rules clearly. And as he posed for the photograph, an elephant charged towards him. The man then fell while trying to escape and was trampled, sustaining injuries. Now, fortunately, in the case, his injuries were not life-threatening, but clearly it was a very narrow escape here. And now coming to the second incident, this took place in Dehradun-Haridwar highway last evening. Now, in this incident, near the Lachiwala toll plaza, this is where the wild elephant suddenly entered the highway and approached the toll booth area. The elephant then attacked a car, leaving everyone at the scene stunned. Visuals on your screen showing you where the incident took place. Now, luckily, the occupants of the car managed to escape without injuries, but the situation did lead to brief panic and chaos. Visuals on your screen showing you two incidents. One took place in Karnataka, another one on Dehradun-Haridwar highway, and clearly showing you the increasing human-wild conflict. Now shifting focus, shocking visuals have emerged from outside the Dwarka Sector 21 metro station in New Delhi. The blast took place earlier today at a food cart, which was stationed near the entrance of the metro station. This blast was captured by a woman traveling in a nearby car. And now the visual of the blast has gone viral on social media. Authorities are investigating the cause of this explosion. They are trying to assess the damage as well, which was caused by the blast in the area. Now viewers, fortunately, there have been no reports of injuries and casualties because of the incident. But clearly very dramatic visuals coming to light from the metro station. And now the video has gone viral on social media as well.
वो इधर ठेले में लगी है
Fortunately, no injuries or casualties were reported. Now they're looking into the cause of the blast and trying to assess the damage as well at the site. Now moving on, tensions erupted in Uttar Pradesh's Fatehpur. This is after members of a Hindu organization vandalized a tomb in Abu Nagar, claiming it was built over an ancient temple. Now in this case, the protesters alleged that the structure said to be the tomb of Nawab Abdus Samad was once a 1,000-year-old temple of Thakurji and Lord Shiva, citing a lotus carving and also a trident as evidence. Now, the claims were strongly refuted by the National Ulama Council, which maintained that this site is a century-old tomb with graves inside, and it's also been listed as a national property in the government records. Now, viewers, situation soon spiraled when members of the Muslim community also responded with stone pelting at the site. Police had to be rushed to the spot, imposing barricades and deploying heavy force, also including PAC companies to restore order. In fact, senior officers including Fatehpur SP Anup Kumar Singh and District Magistrate Ravindra Singh say that situation as of now is under control, with forces from multiple police stations on ground and both sides counselled to maintain peace. Now, top officials from the Prayagraj zone are also en route to the disputed site as security remains tight to prevent any flare-up.
उनको आश्वासन दिया गया कि किसी प्रकार से कानून व्यवस्था को प्रतिकूल रूप से प्रभावित नहीं होने दिया जाएगा। सब लोग आश्वासन को सुनकर धीरे धीरे करके चले गए हैं। अभी यहाँ पर कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति सामान्य है। अभी हमारी प्राथमिकता ये है सबसे पहले कि शांति व्यवस्था बनी रहे और लोगों में कॉन्फिडेंस रहे प्रशासन के प्रति।